Alrighty guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got a real treat for you. This last weekend, we went out to the range and had a little bit of a drag race. In that drag race, we were comparing the 300 PRC to the 300 Weatherby Magnum.
Yep, those two cartridges, especially the Weatherby, known as the Speed Demon. Austin, reloading Weatherby, has that 26-inch Weatherby Vanguard pushing 180s around 3,300 feet per second. I think he's a bit quicker than it. And he's known, he has a hot rod, 200 grain bullets going 3150. My 300 PRC, if you guys saw the short, has these 225 grain ELD-Ms screaming just shy of 3,000 feet per second. So I threw the challenge out to him. Now, let's look at some other things like the rifles, a little bit more into the cartridges, and just some other details.
So right here, we have the Browning XBolt chambered in 300 PRC. Now, one thing to note about this rifle that is a little different than a semi-spec 300 PRC is the fact that it has a 26-inch barrel instead of the 24-inch barrel. So that will aid just a little bit in velocity. So the 300 Weatherby Magnum is an awesome round. It is known as one of the 30 caliber speed demons. If we look here, it was introduced in 1945, so it is quite a bit older than that 300 PRC. Its shoulder is quite a bit different. It has that different radius shoulder instead of that angled. And as we look down here, it also calls for a 24-inch barrel on the semi-spec. However, this Vanguard rifle that we have to test with also has a 26-inch barrel. Now, that's important because both rifles have a 26-inch barrel, so there isn't a need for adjustment or anything like that to do with the velocities. The velocities that we get are going to be a 26-inch barrel to a 26-inch barrel, so it's about as even as you could get.
Now, the 300 PRC, very new, everyone knows it. Long range hunting, long range shooting, 1,000 yards and up, yeah, use it. It's gonna do good. Now, let's talk a little bit about the load that we're gonna be using today. It's gonna be a 225 Hornady ELD-M loaded with LRT and a 215 Federal primer. Now, with Austin's load, same thing, 225 ELD-M, 300 Weatherby though, LRT powder, and a 215 Federal primer. The only differences between these two loads is that it's 300 PRC with Remington brass is what he told me he used. And in the video, when I was shooting the 300 PRC, I was not using Lapua brass. It was actually Hornady brass. So this is about as apples to apples as we can get. Yes, the rifle brands are different. But besides that, it's really 26-inch barrel, 300 PRC, 300 Weatherby, 225 ELD-M, LRT for the powder, and a Federal 215 primer, different case. That's it.
This is the one to film.
90 grains right here, LRT. 2922. $29.96. Here, just really quick, you just saw those velocities. I think there's a new sheriff in town. I think it's 300 PRC.